sides on that.
Welcome back to the CFSB Marshall County Hoopfest from Draftonville, Kentucky. Here, presented by the Grind Session on Tanager Sports. My name is Jeremy Rose. Welcome into the broadcast. Dan Lange alongside former Marshall County Marshal and Vanderbilt Commodore. And as we said the other night, we call him an NBA journeyman as well. But it just means that you get to travel to a lot of towns and
a lot of different people.
Yeah, and have a lot of different jerseys as well. That makes it fun. He is now the head coach of the Marshall County Lady Marshals, who have won both of their games thus far here in this 2018 CFSB Marshall County Hoopfest. The Marshals are returning junior wing Bryce Flatt, who runs the floor well and is a solid shooter. You can expect Austin Riley to be an important piece to this team as well. Marshall County is without the number 9 sophomore in the nation in Zion Harmon, who, for one thing that we've talked about, and this being a Kentucky matchup here, they've probably felt the pain of the KHSAA before as well in Pendleton County. I think everybody feels the pain of the KHSAA at one point or another, but Marshall County not only without the services because of ineligibility at this point, but also he is dealing with a foot injury that hopefully will be a short-term situation, and then they can worry about the legal side of this and getting him to play. I don't want to put you on the spot because you are a coach not only of a basketball team here at the varsity level, but also of the volleyball team. So I won't put you on the spot with that one. I'll take the blame for that one. But Pendleton County, led by highly touted Kentucky commit Dante Allen, who just got a big ovation, arguably the state's best player, 54th in the senior class. Allen is a prolific scorer with a smooth, clean stroke who averaged 30.8 points a game last year, with 8 seniors from last year's squad graduating. Expect seniors Cody Sullivan and Scott Wells to contribute in significant minutes as well. Keaton Belcher, the head coach of Pendleton County. The Marshals are coached by Terry Birdsong, former Marshal here as well. Clay Monroe will start at one of the guards, 5'8" junior. With him will be Traden Thomas, 6-foot sophomore. Cody Sullivan will start at one of the forwards with Brett Booth. Sullivan is a 6'1" senior, Booth a 6'3" junior, and Dante Allen, 6'7" senior, who will tip it off here in just a second. Austin Riley, 6-foot junior, as well as Tyler Powell, a 6-foot junior, and Jane Nimmo, 5'9" sophomore, run the backcourt for Marshall County. Tyler Stokes, who will tip it off, 6'6" junior, will have Bryce Flatt, a 6'4" junior, in his front court as well. Dan, should be some fun here in this one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's going to be a nice, hard-fought game. The atmosphere, pretty much almost a packed crowd, and
all country fans here tonight, as well as for the first time in my life.
Haven't heard country music for warm-up music.
Bo Cephas led us off to get this one going. First shot won't fall for Pendleton County, and Marshall County on the attack.
Which I was going to say, it might help get Allen off his game, but Pendleton County is kind of a rural area just like here.
Here is Stokes down low. The shot won't go. Allen comes away with it. Everybody seemed to be into the country, and including the Neon Moon from Brooks and Dunn. A 3 won't go from Cody Sullivan. And toward the baseline, it's fought for, and Jane Nimmo digs it out for the Marshals. But Powell looking ahead for Riley. Riley had the afterburners on and took off.
Threw it behind him. That's one of them things you hate to see something like that after the hard effort, you know, diving on the floor, loose ball, get it, and
just an antsy atmosphere to this game here so far. Just electric crowd to get this one going.
I mean, you just think about it. Most of these kids in the state of Kentucky grow up dreaming about playing for the blue and white, and now these kids get a chance to play against one of Kentucky signees, and I think everybody's just excited to see how this turns out.
3 won't go, and here comes Pendleton County on the attack again. A three from the wing from Thomas won't go, and the Marshals have it back. Yeah, I think that's the fun part. It's fun for a broadcaster to be able to say, hey, when he goes on to bigger and better things, that I got to call a game of his. Same thing for these players, that when they see Allen next year on TV, they can say that they saw him. Nothing falling for either team. We've almost played 2 minutes with talented offenses on both sides and no score. Finally, we break the drought, and it is Clay Monroe, 5'8" junior, with the basket, and it's a 2-0 Pendleton County lead. Baseline, here's Powell for the Marshals. He had a big game on Thursday night, Dan, and they need big things out of him, and if he can do that, they're going to be in good shape.
Definitely. What did he have, 4 or 5 threes? He had 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah, really got him out going. Here's a three by Cody Sullivan. That is good. And that makes it 5-2 Pendleton County. Keaton Belcher at the helm of this Wildcats team. He looks to be about 24 years old. How old is he? He has a very young face. And still the same color hair all the way around. Unlike you and me. Here's Nimmo. Nimmo down to the baseline and floats a shot up that won't go. Dante Allen moves Bryce Flatt out of the way as he moves into front court. Monroe now across to Sullivan. The three won't go. Stokes with the rebound for the Marshals. Big crowd on hand here tonight. Stokes with the basketball. He'll be called for a travel. 4:37 to play here in the quarter. 5-2 Pendleton County on top. One more game to come at you tonight. That will be Tennessee Prep. They will take on Aspire Academy from Louisville.
Is it me, or is Marshall County playing at a little bit slower tempo than they did on Thursday?
Yeah, that's good that you say that. They really have slowed things down considerably. Here's Dante Allen inside, puts it up and in.
There's nice patience on that move.
And I know this may be a Captain Obvious statement, but it may be, they've not been able to score thus far and get their press started, which may be the reason that we're a little slower here at the outset. Monroe picks up the foul. That's his first.
Well, I'm kind of impressed how Allen, that was his first shot attempt. He's been trying to get his teammates involved, hadn't forced the issue.
If you average 30.8 points a game, I guess you're going to.
This year's average 51
wow.
in 2 games.
I guess that means you're going to figure out your ways.
He's going to get that. He needs to start putting some shots up.
Here's Riley. We may not get to 50 points combined the way we're going now. Flatt into the corner. Riley, a three is short. And Flatt keeps it alive. To Powell, back to Flatt. Flatt, no good, but he's fouled. It's on Allen. That's his first, second team foul. How about the shoes that Dante Allen has on for us tonight?
Colorful.
Multicolored. I believe those are the Easter. I'm being honest. I think that they are the Easter edition. Maybe off on that one. Ethan Caldwell, 6-foot sophomore, in, and Clay Monroe out. I have a pair of Kobe's that they call the Yin Yang. That one is Laker yellow, Laker gold, and the other one is purple. I didn't know that when I bought them.
Hey,
to my surprise, they were different color shoes.
Learn something new every day, huh?
Yes, and when you wear them out and people say, did you buy them like that, boy? Leads to interesting conversations with complete strangers.
So did the both Cephas interlude to start? Did they get us into this?
Yeah, everything is off kilter now. Yeah. 7-3, Pendleton County by 4. This may be the last time you hear Dan and me on the airwaves here. Here's Stokes with a jumper. getting late. Left side, here's Thomas. Back out now for Allen. This is a long one, and it won't fall. As you said, Allen has really allowed his teammates to have a chance to get into the flow of this game offensively.
And really a lot of players that know they can dominate offensively at any time. You know, at the start of games, like to get other players involved, and then they'll pick up off of them.
Allen now with it, starts to drive, and it'll be a foul on the floor. This will be on Austin Riley. That'll be his first. We will see Marshall County's first substitution. It will be Matthew Wooten, 6'1" junior, replace Bryce Flatt. Inbound is to Sullivan. Underneath, shot was partially blocked. It looked like by Stokes. Brett Booth couldn't get it to go. Nimmo straight away. Marshall's trail by 2. 7-5 with 2:10 to play here in quarter number 1. Here is Stokes down on the baseline. He ties the game. Sweet stroke there from Tyler Stokes. And we're knotted at 7.
Correct me if I'm wrong. On Thursday, I thought Tyler Powell pretty much ran the point. Today, Nimmo's running the point.
That's also true. And here's a lob is what I'm going to give him on that one to Wooten, who puts it in. We'll call it that. And Wooten will head to the line here for 1.
I'm sure Tyler's not used to be challenged at the rim like that.
No, it forced him to go a little different, and turned out. The foul was on Caldwell. Free throw won't fall, but there's Stokes able to track down the rebound. Out to Nimmo. This one won't fall. Allen with Wooten on him. Allen, that shows you how strong he is. He slung Wooten in front of Terry Birdsong there, and Wooten is a stout individual himself. The foul is on Austin Riley. That'll be his second. And the Marshalls are going to go strong here for sure, as the first one by Allen is good. We'll see Dawson Smothers now, 6'2" junior. He'll replace Riley. That is a pretty beefy front court for Marshall County when you put in Wooten, Stokes, and Smothers. You got that's one of the strongest front lines that I would say since the Doug Lyles days.
Definitely that was a lot thicker.
Yeah, that was a big team that Doug Lyles had at one point with just a humongous front line, and it may not be height-wise, but this is a very stout unit now. Here's Stokes on the baseline. His shot won't go. Smothers went for the rebound, couldn't come up with it. It's Sullivan. We're tied at 9, 1:05 to play. You can use beefy with men or boys games. I know a gentleman that got relieved of his duties as he used that in a girls game one time. Don't know why he thought it was okay. Down underneath, here is Thomas, and he's fouled. That player doesn't exist, and so apparently it's on Stokes. There isn't a 13 on the Marshall County roster, which was what was popped out there, but 23 works, and that is on Stokes. Flatt is back in, Wooten out. It's giving some of these guys, I'm sure, a little gassed playing in this kind of environment.
Give them a quick break, you know, then you have the in between the quarter to get a little extra rest.
Thomas with 1 out of 2, and Pendleton County is back in front 10-9. It's been a low scoring but a quick moving first quarter. Flatt penetrates, rims off, but there's Smothers with the follow. It is good, and the foul. Dawson Smothers after the foul on Traden Thomas.
A lot of excitement there.
With authority there.
Staring at the ozone. Pretty good student section here.
It is a big one, and they're all in cowboy hats tonight. Contrary to popular belief, this is not as country of a town as Nashville, Tennessee, say.
Walk through the halls of the high school.
Yeah, you don't see this look in the school system on a normal basis. Free throw won't go from Smothers. Down to 8 seconds to play here in the quarter. Here's Monroe. A three won't go, and that will do it for quarter number one. Fun first quarter from Draffenville. The Marshals lead over Pendleton County 11-10. This is the CFSB Marshall County Hoopfest, the grind session presented on Tanager Sports. Along with Dan Lange, Jeremy Rose welcoming you back to Reed Condor Gymnasium here in Draffenville. Marshals with an 11-10 lead as we get set for the second quarter to get underway. A fun first quarter.
Yeah, definitely. I think both these teams are still trying to fill each other out, and a little bit lower scoring game than I expected. But I'm sure it'll pick up as the game goes on.
Pendleton County shooting just 23% from the field in the first quarter. The Marshals not a lot better, but enough to have the lead at 33.3%. Here is Flatt, drives, puts it in, and draws the foul. Beautiful move there by Bryce Flatt. The foul is on Clay Monroe, and this will put Flatt at the line, looking to complete the three-point play. The Marshals just 25% from the line here in this first half, and the woes from there continue. That's something that they definitely are going to want to pick up on.
In close games, you don't make free throws.
Monroe over to Thomas. In toward Allen. Allen reverse, puts it in. I tell you, that was a tough pass as well. They know that Bryce Flatt can absolutely jump out of the gym. And he made that one as hard as he could. Powell, ball fakes to the free throw line. Got it. I have been impressed watching Tyler Powell, and I mean,
his game's improved greatly.
Yeah.
But he's worked really hard too.
That's what you like seeing, is when they're getting their reward on the court after that. Foul here on Flatt will be his first. Thomas is out. We'll see Noah Bernard, 6'3" sophomore, check in. 15-12, Marshall County by 3. To the baseline, here is Monroe. Into Allen, spin move. Flatt did everything he could there, and the contact drawn by Allen, and he will head to the line.
Yeah, he actually had a pretty good defense position. If he didn't put his hands forward, that stayed straight up.
Second foul on Bryce Flatt. And Dawson Smothers will get him. Allen misses on the first attempt. the 6'7" senior, headed to Kentucky. Second free throw is good, so 1 of 2 from Allen at the line. 2-point Marshall County lead.
You heard the student section chanting overrated. I don't think they realize some people, you don't want to give them extra ammunition.
No.
That might be the thing that gets them going.
I've always thought the go start the bus thing at the end, or the kiss him goodbye, was always a bad thing to do, because when they get good, if you've beat them on a particular night, when they get good, they're going to cram you into the ground. And Allen may get his warm up from something like that. Here's a drive. What a move by Powell over Allen, and he puts it in. 17-13. The Marshalls by 4, and a timeout here for Pendleton County. It may not have been the prettiest offensive output to start this game for Marshall County tonight, Dan, but this has turned into one of those games where that they are making some really shots that they have to get.
Making some really tough shots. And they're going to have to continue to make them. I mean, they're doing a good job of, Allen's doing a good job of protecting the rim.
17-13. This 30-second timeout. And as we talked about in the open, this is a big, big crowd on hand. And, you know, I know that we can go back a number of years and look back to those days where you couldn't even move around in here, and they'd have to open the doors in the upper level to get the cold air in, because it would get so hot in here. But this is the biggest Saturday night crowd in a good couple 5 years.
Yeah, it's a nice little crowd.
Corner shot that won't fall here from Thomas. I don't know if that slipped or if it was partially blocked. I didn't see a hand get up there, though. Smothers. Here's Stokes. Back inside to Smothers. Nice ball movement by Marshall County. Here goes Wooten into the lane. Hard off the glass. Tapped back up by Smothers, and it won't go. Allen and Wooten again at it, and the three won't fall. Underneath, keeping it alive, is Thomas. He goes toward the corner, and there's Powell. And a whistle. And was he out of bounds? I
think they called out of bounds.
Looking for the official, and he was behind a couple players. I couldn't see it. Five minutes to play. First half, 4-point Marshall County lead. A three that hits the support, and Marshall County will get it back. So as lively of a student section as we've had in a long time.
Thursday was a pretty good showing, too. Not quite like this, though.
They may have their horses out waiting for them after this is over. This interesting cowboy look that they've got going tonight. Timeout here for Marshall County. Or maybe it's guitars. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, as wet as it's been today, they wouldn't have to worry about leading them to water.
That's true. Yeah. Be the only people that might not get stuck in the grass. It's been.
We come in this morning, it was pouring.
It's been a wet weather day here, but supposed to be sunny tomorrow for the. Not that it really matters, but it will be sunny for the finale of the weekend session here of Hoopfest. May need to wear your boots to church, though, as it's going to be soggy. 17-13. Marshall County by 4, but what a difference some years make weather-wise. We had to
snow
partially cancel some of this a few years ago.
There's a lot of people that set their schedules around this event.
Yeah. Right side Powell down to the baseline for Stokes. Back to Powell. And it's big for these student athletes as well to be seen. And when they're not able to be seen, this may be one of the few opportunities they get at one of these national showcases. Here's Powell. The three won't fall, and Smothers a little unlucky, not able to get more of his hand on that one. He's claiming for a push from Allen. Didn't get the call.
Pretty big push. I didn't see him move that much.
I didn't either. Here's Sullivan. Over to Monroe. Now here is Caldwell. They look down low for Allen along the baseline, and he just goes to the bucket there. Nothing you're going to do with that one. Quiet 9 rather from Allen here in the early going. 3:40 to play in the first half, but as you said, well under either of his averages, either of last year or his first 2 games of this season. Matthew Wooten underneath, and the Marshals lead stays at 4. Booth, nice move underneath, can't get it to go. Tell you, if you have to play against a guy like Allen in practice every day, you're going to learn some of those moves. Oh, my Lord. Thought we were about to be had right there. Here comes Stokes flying toward us.
Good thing Ralph did a good job of dust mopping between games.
Yes. Here is Nimmo. Over to Powell. Powell now to Smothers. Ball fakes, baseline, and it won't fall. This will be on Smothers. Dawson picks up his first. He tries to talk it over with longtime First Region official David Smithmeyer. The call was not changed.
I love Smithmeyer. He's one of the few refs that will actually talk with the players, and he'll talk with coaches. And
just a
long-time veteran.
Yeah, a good guy. Here is Powell. Down to the corner for Nimmo. Nimmo goes down low to Smothers. Back Sullivan down. Shot fake, and now the shot won't go. Allen with the rebound. Allen works left. And knocked away by Smothers out of bounds. And Smothers, good defense there, and got his hand on the ball, but it ends up out of bounds. Clay Monroe looks like he's asking to come out of the game. No one paying attention. Here goes Powell for the Marshals. Down to the baseline. He's cut off. And now he'll put a shot up and good.
He's good patience.
21-15, Marshall County, biggest lead thus far. And an offensive foul on Dante Allen, and he's picked up his second. (21-15). Marshals, and Dan, what would you do in this situation? You just got a minute 40. Would you try to save him from picking up that third?
Here's the deal. If they score here, maybe.
Monroe is fouled.
Well, I'm sure, he's played through situations like this, and and sometimes your better players have to learn how to play with fouls and maybe not challenge a shot at the rim and not pick up something cheap. But he does use his body a lot on those drives. If you notice, he's always getting his body into the defense.
Foul was on Tyler Powell. Cody Sullivan, I said Monroe is Sullivan. First one won't go. He'll try again. This one's good. Ethan Caldwell out. Traden Thomas in. 21-16, Marshall County on top. 1:25 to play here in the first half. Here's Nimmo. Over to Powell. Straight away here is Smothers. Looks in for Stokes. He turns off the glass. It won't go. Back up by Smothers. It won't fall. Wow. Allen Jumper won't go, and gets it back, puts it up, it won't fall. Gets it again, puts it in.
What's that saying? At first you don't succeed, try again.
Maybe.
Or that might have been old Moses Malone back in the day.
Yeah, maybe just getting some stats there. Here's Nimmo, the Smothers, who I didn't realize had the hops, and a drive by Powell, and he puts it in.
He's having a really good first half.
That's 10 now, and he is second in scoring. He leads the Marshals, just second behind Dante Allen, who has 11. 20 seconds to play, first half.
Most of the people in this gym are UK fans. That's what makes it so funny.
Yeah. They'll be rooting for him as soon as that final horn sounds again. We're sorry. Here's Powell to Wooten. The three is good by Matthew Wooten. He's got 7 first half points, and the Marshals up to their biggest lead at 8 as we hit the halftime break. It's 26-18, Marshall County on top. Totals and highlights from the first half coming up as the second half will get underway in just a few moments. CFSB's Marshall County Hoopfest on the grind session, presented by Tanager Sports.
The thing about basketball I love is winning, pretty much. It's my favorite thing. I hate to lose. And second thing I love is just getting better at the game. You know, it's a real fun game to play, and you know, getting better is just a great thing to see. Like, progress for me is just always great to see.
This game of basketball, I love the competitiveness of it, and you know, the challenge I get from it, and I take it real serious because, you know, I love the game itself. I don't disrespect it. You know, I respect it a lot, and I work hard at it.
I love basketball because I just been around it all my life. You know, all my parents played it, and I just inherited the love and passion for the game. The one thing I would say is the atmosphere, like, and the competitiveness. Like, you can sense that out as soon as you walk in the gym. I just love that type of atmosphere.
I just love basketball ever since I was a kid. My dad played it, and I'm trying to get it from my mom. One thing that inspired me is my family, my city. I do it for them.
The reason why I love basketball is because I'm a very competitive person. You know, that's why I store my energy. When I'm on the court, I'm at peace. You know, and to be honest, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a really competitive person, and I think basketball is where I can put everything at. It's the place where I can put all of my energy and my anger. I mean, I wasn't really fortunate, you know, and you know, basketball is where all my abilities and my talents fall into place, and I just feel like that's what keeps me going. You know, that's what I work on. That's my craft, and that's it.
The grind session is a great circuit. Kind of reminds me a lot of AAU, playing against the best players, the best talent, night in, night out, and it's something that I love to do because you know, playing against this type of talent, it only makes you better. You know, I don't want to, you know, come out here and just waste my time and play against some guys who can't play. If I'm gonna play, I want to play against the best.
The grind session is a good experience, and it's a lot of competition, and it's a good way for me and my teammates to get noticed. I'm just really trying to show who the best player is, who the best team is, and I'm trying to show that I'm the best player. So,
Grind session is probably, you know, one of the best tournaments and to have the best events in the country. I mean, anytime you can have that much talent in one gym, going against each other every night and competitive, is just remarkable. I mean, for one, it lets you know where your game stand at. You know, going against these top dudes every night, you just got to bring your A game. You know, you can't have no off day. You just got to go hard and, you know, just hold your ground every game.
The grind session has been a grind. You know, it's a great tournament. It's a great idea. Whoever thought of it, and you know, it's been tough, but I like it because you know, it really challenges me. And our team has been, you know, a little bit setback. We've been short on a few games because we have a few injuries. But that's the beauty of it, because none of it is easy. None of the games are easy at all. You know, we've been playing against the top guys in the whole American country and Canada. They've been playing against everybody in the U.S. here, and it's been crazy.
Oh yeah, the grind session is pretty competitive, to be honest. The last couple of games I played in grind session has been pretty hard. You know, I really had to like play to my top game, and like no rest, no breaks during the game. And I don't know, I just really like it. It's just really competitive. A lot of great players are in this little tournament, and I just really enjoy playing against them.
Welcome to the grind. This is the grind session.
The CFSB Marshall County Hoopfest continues from Draffenville. From the grind session and Tanager Sports. Glad you're with us. Jeremy Rose alongside Dan Lange. Look back at that first half. A big second quarter run by the Marshalls of 26-18 gives them this 8-point lead and the biggest of the game thus far at 26-18. Your thoughts?
I was waiting. I didn't know you were going to say something. Well, I mean, if you look at over the stats, Tyler Powell definitely had a big first half, 5 for 6 from the floor. But then you start looking at these shooting percentages. Pendleton County's 1 for 12 from 3, shooting 22% in the first half. That's tough to win a whole lot of ball games, especially when you're not winning the rebounding edge. So I look for them to bounce back and have a lot better second half.
You got to think when they shoot that poorly in a particular half that things will finally even out a little bit as they keep going. But as I witnessed a game earlier today, that didn't happen. Maybe it doesn't happen in this one either. I don't know.
What was the game right before this? Was it 8 straight free throws or missed when the game was on?
Yeah.
It's just weird how sometimes that stuff happens. I mean, as a coach, you just tell your kids, hey, keep shooting. Law of averages will eventually come around. Ooh, that was close.
Nimmo keeps it in front court. The large MC may have helped keep that one in front court. Looked to me as if it was over and back, but it ends up being a turnover on the Marshalls, and Pendleton County will get it back. Those are Kyrie's, by the way. We were able to get to that point.
Oh, the shoes?
The shoes he's got on, yeah. There is Allen. Allen to the baseline, puts it up, it won't fall. Goes after it again, can't get to it. Now here is Booth, the shot won't go. Booth again, it won't fall. And here is Thomas. Back to Allen, fadeaway 3 is good. 14 for the 6'7" senior. Flat, who ended up with 2 fouls in the first half and was put on the bench with those, saving for this second half. Allen also playing with 2 for Pendleton County. Reverse to Nimmo for 3, and Jay Nimmo gets it to go. Here's Thomas, race toward the baseline, now gives it off to Booth. The shot won't go, and now Marshall's really face guarding Allen here to start this second half. Nimmo into the corner for Flat. A 3 is short. Allen with the rebound. Ooh. And that was a double dribble layup. So he got away with it. He completely picked up the basketball and switched hands. The foul is on Brett Booth. The 6'3" junior picks up his first.
Do you think Jay Nimmo loves playing basketball? Did you see?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a great thing about high school sports. Kids, I mean, just seeing their excitement when good things happen, and watching kids play together. And
Flat in the corner, this one won't fall. And if you're watching this from Pendleton County with interest or elsewhere, just as a nugget of information that will help fill your brain for the evening, as Allen can't get this to go. Jay Nimmo, you're probably looking at a guy that you'll hear about in the future as a PGA professional.
Yeah, the southpaw can really hit it.
He just a sophomore.
And he shoots right-handed, but
yeah, he
goes left-handed.
Way it goes sometimes, I guess. But Allen can't get the first free throw. But Nimmo, one of 2 golfers that are currently in this Marshall County system, the other being Graves County head coach Aaron Beth's daughter, who are both played this summer or this spring at Augusta.
Hey, Tyler Powell's a pretty good golfer.
That's right,
too.
He is as well. Both Nimmo and and Beth played as part of the, the drive, chip, and putt,
yes.
I believe is what it is. Part of the PGA's Younger Player Initiative, as Flatt has picked up his third. And this has been a big area for professional golfers as well as of late. Gentleman that also is from Marshall County, Patrick Newcomb, is on a number of tours. He's been on the Canadian PGA Tour as of late, as well as he's been playing in South America and also was in South Africa for a while. He makes some money, having some fun, for sure. 29-22, Marshall County with the lead. Nimmo over to Riley. Now here is Powell, free throw line jumper that's good. Tyler Powell leads the Marshalls with 12. Golfing only raises my blood pressure, however, so I don't do that very often. I bet you're a sight to see golfing.
I actually normally golf once a year.
That's the Athletic Hall of Fame golf tournament?
I go with my mom's boyfriend once a year.
31-22, Marshall County. Here is Stokes off the glass, can't get it to go.
And it's pretty funny because the clubs don't fit me.
Well, that's what I was wondering with your size. Here's a three by Cody Sullivan. The guy alongside of me may not look taller than me sitting beside me, but he's 6'11". Or thereabouts. Osteoporosis may start to set in.
Shrunk a few inches.
Here's Powell. Floater too strong. 6-point Marshall County lead, 31-25. And now an offensive foul on Allen. And, you know, just playing physical against him as they have done here tonight and putting a multitude of players in his face, it's frustrated him, no doubt.
Here's the thing, though. He's done that a couple times. I haven't blown the whistle.
31-25, Marshall County with 3:50 to play here in the third. Here's Stokes over to Powell. Lobs it back in for Stokes and just a little too high. Allen down to the baseline, and we'll have a foul on the floor. Here's some fans behind us hollering for an alternating possession on that one. Foul number 1 on Matthew Wooten, third on Marshall County here in this second half. Inbound comes to the corner to Sullivan. Here's Monroe, and now a battle underneath Wooten and Allen.
Gosh.
And I'm going to go with a double foul on that one. Well, that will mean Allen has picked up his fourth.
Well, here's the deal. You can tell he's frustrated. Yes, they've been playing physical with him, but he's got to keep his cool.
Smothers, or check that, Wooten will pick up his second. Fourth team foul on Marshall County, third on Pendleton County. 31-25. Marshall's by 6.
They ought to go right to him because more than likely he'll get a foul call for him now.
Allen looks into Booth and blocked away by Stokes. Here's Riley and a reach-in foul on Clay Monroe. He's picked up his third. Riley, who didn't play a whole lot in the first half with 2 fouls, back in. Allen will set down with that 4th foul. 3:10 to play here in the third. Here's Nimmo. Cross to Powell. Here's Wooten. This is Stokes over to Powell. The three won't go. Back up by Stokes. He can't get it to go, and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Marshals. I think Tyler may have been just a tad shocked that it came off so easy to him there. I think he was expecting a bigger bound, and he was just going to be able to work on that as a possible travel there by Nimmo. Can't get it to go, and Booth comes away with it. Well, batted down here by Wooten. Here is Riley. Back to Wooten and lays it in. Tough shot from Wooten. Probably used the wrong hand to lay that up, but in the other side of that, though, Dan, he almost had to because the defense was coming at him from the right side.
And here's the thing with Pendleton. They don't need to, get in freak mode right now. I mean, they can salvage this 230, keep it somewhat close, and then, you might think about putting Allen back in the game. Still a lot of time left, though.
33-25 with 2:30 to play here in this third. And again, Dante Allen with 4 fouls. And I really think if you're looking at an MVP here in this game thus far, can't go much farther than Matthew Wooten just because of what he's been able to do to frustrate Dante Allen.
I think between him and Bryce Flatt and him getting double teamed, and, scores get frustrated. I remember when, I was a scorer, that's what I did. And when people did different things to me, it took age and maturity to realize, hey, just accept it and find ways to counteract it. But if you remember what I said earlier, he uses his body a lot earlier, and how many times guys go flying, eventually a ref's going to eventually blow the whistle.
Booth over to Tyler Vols, 6'1" sophomore, seeing his first action. Here is Thomas. Out and out of Vols. A three is in and out. Boy, he had a good look. It just didn't go. Here's Nimmo. Nimmo splits the defenders, and his shot is blocked here by Booth. Nice defensive play by Booth. And now Pendleton County throws it into the end zone.
And that's what can happen.
Seth Gregg, 6'2" junior, will replace Vols. As we said in the open, this is a young team. Only 2 seniors on it for Pendleton County. Marshals are young as well. So a good matchup here between these 2 teams from opposite ends of the state. And we've got a timeout here for Pendleton County. It comes with 1:29 to play here in the third. 33-25. 33-25, Marshals with the lead. We will step aside and back at Reed Condor Gymnasium in just a few moments. CFSB's Marshall County Hoopfest from the grind session on Tanager Sports. .129 to play in this third quarter between Marshall County and Pendleton County. The Wildcats down to 2 timeouts remaining. Marshals have 4 left. We're not close to the bonus here for either club here in this second half. As we give you a game reset. Here is Gregg. Out to Monroe. Now back to Sullivan. Pendleton County playing without Dante Allen here at this point with 4 fouls. Well, if you had bought a ticket for this game in particular, thinking of the roster that you thought you were going to see from the beginning of the season, you'd probably be a little disappointed right now that you're not seeing Allen play very much, and you haven't seen Zion Harmon at all. But it's been an entertaining game.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's been physical, hard fought, a lot of action. I mean, if you're Pendleton, I mean, you're happy because it was a 6-point game when Allen went out.
Yeah.
And now they can wait here last second and only give up 2 points with him being out.
That last possession was not a Terry Birdsong-esque possession
now that's
either.
a wait for.
Here's Booth inside. He turns and he puts it in. I would imagine that there will be a tongue lashing for that last possession by Marshall County as we worked under a minute to go. 33-27, and they don't have the ability with the short time here before we hit this quarter end for him to forget about it.
He will if that goes in. Nope.
Powell's three won't go. And there are 3 seconds to play here in the third.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say he'd be picking up full court man right here. He's actually going to 2-2-1.
6-point Marshall's lead. Here is Monroe, has no idea how much time is left. Now heaves one that Dan, I thought was going in. Hits the rim and falls off, but we go to the fourth. The Marshalls lead by 6, 33-27. This is the CFSB Marshall County Hoopfest. By the way, Dante Allen will be back in as we start that fourth quarter. The CFSB Marshall County Hoopfest. This is the grind session on Tanager Sports. Fourth quarter action, 33-27. The Marshalls with the lead, and they also will have first possession. We were talking about it at the break. The frustration probably a little bit from the Marshall County coaching staff that they could not capitalize on Allen being out of the game.
That didn't build any sort of lead. It was a 6-point game and picked up his fourth foul, and it's a 6-point game now. And on the flip side, I mean, that's exactly what Pendleton County wanted. He just got to make sure he don't pick up a silly foul.
Nemo with the miss. Here is Allen, and he puts it in. Down to a 4-point game. 33-29. Allen now with 16. Here's Stokes. Turnaround jumper. Rebound comes down to Thomas. Here's Monroe. This is Sullivan. Bounces it down to Booth. Good move, and he puts it in. Both of the baskets he's scored on have been similar in the move that he's made.
Well, he went middle one time, the next time up and under. I mean, you really don't see that very often anymore in today's game a whole lot.
I think we talked about this on the game as Marshall County has asked for a 30 here. The big man has kind of gone away in all of basketball, and it's more of a hybrid situation. And so you don't see that very often anymore.
What do they call it, positionless basketball now? That's something that started back in, you've seen the first deals of it back in like around 2000. They started drafting the 6'8", 6'9" wings.
Can you blame Europe for that?
No, I just think this basketball is evolving. If you can have 5 kids that can dribble, shoot, pass, I mean, it's how hard is that to guard when you can, you space the floor out, allows easier drives, spreads the help out. can't key on one person as much.
I think of Dirk when I think of that starting.
Yeah. He's the one that kind of opened it up well.
Pedra,
yeah. And then can't believe I can't remember his name. The guy that he was really good. He died in a car wreck. Oh my God.
Played for the Nets.
Yes.
Offensive foul. This is on Booth, and that'll be his second. While you ponder that, I can see him. That was when the Nets had those tie-dye.
Because it was him, Dino Raja, and all them who played on the what was it, the Yugoslavian national team. So. Tony Kukoc. How about that team, national team?
Yeah. From an area that you would not expect necessarily if you didn't know that much about the international game, and most didn't and don't. Booth out to Monroe, and loading for the long one is Sullivan, and Pendleton County has taken the lead. 10 now for Sullivan. And really, this has not been Dante Allen that's done this.
No, and they've got momentum now.
Nemo. I think you can go back to that possession that Marshall County rushed it with 40 seconds to play in the third. And it's kind of starting this.
Well, they had a couple back-to-back possessions, turnover, I wouldn't say bad shot, missed shot, and then they're just kind of out of rhythm. And Pendleton County, I'm sure they're excited because they didn't, fall behind any deeper when he went on the bench. I mean, they feel like they have a chance now.
Nemo over to Riley in the corner. Powell won't go. Marshall County's gone ice cold from the three-point line. Here goes Allen. Puts it in. Dante Allen now with 18. Make it 19. 36-33. Pendleton County by 3. They've trailed by as many as 8 here in this second half. Here goes Riley, and he is fouled.
I have a feeling they won't call it on number 11.
It will go on Booth, and that will be his third. And this will put Austin Riley at the line. Be the 5th team foul.
He really needs to sink these two to try to get momentum swinging back and stop the bleeding.
First one is good from Austin Riley. His first point of the night. 6-foot junior will have a chance for one more. Second one is also good from Riley. 36-35. Pendleton County by 1. 4:15 to play. Monroe to Booth. Around to Sullivan, who hit that big three to give the Wildcats the lead. Here is Monroe, and he hits a big three. 4-point Pendleton County lead now at 39-35. 3:55 to play. Here's Flatt back into the lineup, and Powell is fouled from behind. This will be the 6th team foul. It's on Traden Thomas. He is second. You've been here all day?
For the majority of the day. We played at 9 and sit around for a little bit and had to go home get my voice ready for you said how bad I sounded after that game.
I was worried this morning. I was leaving.
My throat was sore.
Ball stolen here, and here goes Allen. Almost tore the rim down there. Now a whistle and a timeout for the Marshals with 3:33 to play. And Marshall County now trails by 6 at 41-35. A timeout for the Marshals. We'll continue from Graftonville after this. CFSB's Marshall County Hoopfest on the Grind Session, presented by Tanager Sports. 3:33 to play, 41-35. Pendleton County has made a 14-point turnaround here in this second half to lead by 6. Coach Birdsong asks for time. What do you talk about here?
I mean, just settle down. You know, we've had some turnovers and not such, you know, they're rotating on defense not as well. Had 2 wide open threes basically from the same spot. Just a lot of time left.
Monroe picks up the foul, and this will put Marshall County in the 1-1. Is that a foul you want to make at this point in
Probably
the game?
not, because now they're in the bonus. And, you know, if you look how they shot in the first half, though, you might be happy, but they don't normally shoot 20% from the free throw line.
Tyler Powell will head to the line. He has not scored as of yet from the line. He has 12 points overall. First one is good.
Well, and here's the thing, too. Now that you got a team in the bonus, you're going to tell them, hey, drive the ball, get a foul, you can score with the time, you know, clock stop. I mean, that's a better way to lengthen the game to get back into it.
Both free throws go from Powell. It's been a while since Marshall County had scored. That stops quite a run there. Here's Allen. It's the baseline, and he'll pull up from there. Shot won't go. He may have forced that one. Here is Booth with the follow. I tell you what, he's not scored a whole lot. And may not come in.
Second half, I'll tell you that.
He may not come in with the big credentials that Dante Allen does, but he's played well.
You got to stop throwing the ball over the top.
Pendleton County with it. Here's Sullivan.
Yep. Momentum.
13 for the 6'1 senior. And another timeout here for Marshall County with 2:40 to play. It is bulged out to
total
9.
momentum shift.
Wow. 9-point lead now. Biggest of the game for either team, and a timeout on the floor. CFSB's Marshall County Hoopfest, presented by the Grind Session on Tanager Sports. .240 to play, 46-37, an explosive fourth quarter here by Pendleton County, and they have taken the lead on the Marshalls.
I mean, you just see a total momentum switch. I mean, you know, when the Marshalls were up, you see them jumping, cheering around. Now, I know we're not right next to their bench, but every dead ball, every timeout that's happened, I mean, they're all happy cheering. I mean, you hear their bench cheering now. That kind of goes back to what I said, that since that dunk, well, they made 2 threes.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, that's, you know, you might want to take a foul, take the ball out of bounds on the side. A lot of times in dunk like that, especially in high school, because a lot of, I mean, here you see it at the Hoop Fest, but on the day-to-day, you don't normally see stuff like that. But
Allen with the basketball, playing with 4 fouls. And we're down to 2 minutes to play. 46-37. They look to trap. Monroe gets it.
He has to nod him the ball back.
Allen gets in there, stripped away here by Stokes. Looked like his motions look like the spider on the Ridiculousness show on MTV.
And they've switched to a 3-2 zone right here, and since they've been in that zone, Marshalls have really struggled.
Wooten out of the corner, big one there. Wooten with 12. 46-40, now they deny Allen again the basketball, and a timeout for Pendleton County. 1:21 to play. It's been a fun one thus far from Graftonville. A timeout here for Pendleton County. Both teams have one remaining. And we'll keep it right here and look over first off, what Keaton Belcher's talking about with his club.
Hey, we got the lead. Don't force nothing. Take care of the basketball. They're fixing to start fouling. Be strong. Don't get it stripped. And, once we get in the bonus, we make free throws. On the other end, if they do get Marshall's come back on offense and, one shot, get the rebound, be strong. For them, it's a free throw game now. They don't necessarily have to score. They just have to take care of the basketball. And for the Marshalls, you're going after with reckless abandon and try to create a situation and get a quick trap, try to get a steal, if not foul right away.
Foul trouble for these teams. Bryce Flatt has 3 for the Marshalls. Only one with 3, no more than 2 the rest of the way down. Dante Allen with 4, Clay Monroe with 4, and Brett Booth with 3 for Pendleton County.
Well, that, when Allen gets rid of the ball, Bryce has to deny the ball back from him. You can tell he's their most comfortable ball handler.
And foul here on Stokes. That'll be his second. It'll put Allen.
And that's fine. That's a fine foul. You foul him on the ground and he doesn't, get a layup or shoot free throws. You're fine with that.
Allen with the ball. Over to Sullivan.
He's got to deny the ball back to him.
The trap, and now almost thrown into back court, but Allen able to come up with it with 1:01 to play. And we have a foul on Tyler Powell.
Terry just said he's got to deny the ball back. You can tell. He's their most comfortable ball handler on the pressure. Big body, can pass over a double team.
46-40. Pendleton County with the lead. Inbound comes to Allen. They got him close to the half-court line there. And now he's able to drive. Shot won't go. Stokes comes down with it. Here come the Marshalls. Nimmo drives, gets contact, throws it up. It won't go. Flat jumps. Can't come down with the basketball, though. It's Sullivan to Monroe. And now here is Allen. Allen. It's into the paint, and his jumper is good. 48-40, 30 seconds to play. Stokes in the corner. A 3 is good, and a timeout here for Marshall County. Stokes with 7, 24.5 seconds to play, 48-43. Pendleton County with the lead. They'll have to bring it the length of the floor here. So I'm guessing you foul right away here to stop the clock.
I think you go for a quick, deny, try to maybe get one quick trap, go for a quick steal. And if not, you've got to get the foul. Or go for the steal, foul if you don't get to, what I mean? You got to stop the clock quick, 24 seconds. And then necessarily, you don't necessarily have to have a 3. Score a quick 2. But then again, actually, Marshall's out of timeout, so they can't, if they score, they can't stop the clock. So I guess you better look for a 3, but.
That is a good point that was the final timeout for Marshall County.
Yeah, because now, this isn't college. The clock don't stop.
Right.
Stop. You don't even have to take the ball out of bounds. In 6-7 seconds, because the ref's not going to start counting right away. You can let it bounce a couple bounces and walk out of bounds and not even do nothing.
24.5 seconds to play. Tennessee Prep will take on Aspire Academy coming up in the finale tonight. More basketball tomorrow, beginning at 1:30. Prolific Prep will take on Athens Prep from Tennessee. Lyon County will take on Elliott County in a Commonwealth matchup, and then Wesley Christian will take on St. Louis Christian. The inbound comes to Allen, and a foul here on Nimmo. So a 1-and-1. The foul is on Nimmo, and that'll be his first. So this will put Clay Monroe at the line with 5 points, 20.6 to play. The free throw won't go, and it's a hard kicker that comes down into the hands of Matthew Wooten. Here's Stokes for 3. It won't go. And Allen has the rebound for Pendleton County, and he slung an elbow there, but got away with it. Foul will be on Powell.
Wow.
The official that blew that whistle was behind it. I don't know that he saw that.
Remember what I said? He'll have a hard time picking up his pick. He definitely got away with something on that one.
Yeah, that was pretty clear there.
I bet at the next level, players don't just walk away from that very often. They kind of have something to say about that.
That's when everybody stands up.
Yeah.
49-43. Allen's second free throw is good. He gets them both.
Or next time down the court, you might catch a little chicken wing.
25 for Allen, 50-43. Here goes Powell. His shot is blocked, but now a foul call, and that will do it. Nope.
Oh, he did call it on.
Yep, they did. So he'll foul out. Dante Allen will foul out with 25 points. So the Marshals held him to half of his average in the first 3 games of the season now. Marshall County crowd having a little fun tonight, ruffling the feathers of Coach Belcher.
That's the thing. I mean, after the buzzer sounds, they're going to cheer for him next year.
There will be somebody walking around here with a Kentucky jersey on with his number on it next year. Tyler Powell's first one is good. Second one is also good. Let me make that statement a little further. There will be somebody in that ozone
that'll ask
next
for his
year.
autograph. No, they'll probably ask for his autograph tonight.
Yeah, they'll be asking for those shoes because if you're not familiar with what goes on here at Hoopfest, one of the odd traditions, and I don't understand it. My son does it as well, but they've
been doing that for years.
Yeah, they ask for the shoes of the players, and usually they'll give one player to one kid and one to the other, and they'll autograph the toe of it. We have more than we need of the one shoe at our residence. We did get a pair of Air Jordans last year, though, but they were
well used.
So used that, but they were my size, and I was like, I might wear those.
Did you go buy some order eaters?
Yeah, and my son also got a pair of socks with a shoe last year as well. Like, why? What are we doing?
I mean, that's what makes this,
exactly.
This event so good.
This is fun for everybody, from little kids that aspire to be basketball players to adults. The inbound is picked off here by Stokes. Stokes will heave a long one, and it won't fall. It was a game effort by the Marshals here tonight, and, if they were able to stay as hot as they did in that first half, probably looking at a different outcome.
They really struggled down. I mean, when they lost momentum, they were struggling, trying to figure out how to get it back. They had some turnovers there, and, and I mean, to be honest, Pendleton County just got hot in that fourth quarter, knocked some shots down, and, they had momentum on their side, and, Marshall just couldn't ever regain it.
You'll probably hear a lot about both of these teams as we march toward March. And if that guy that just passed in front of us gets a chance to play, you're going to hear about Marshall County a whole lot. And Zion Harmon, we'll see how that goes as we work down the stretch. The MVP of the game tonight is Dante Allen. He does get a nice hand as MVP. 25 points tonight for the 6'7" senior who is headed to Kentucky. Dan, it's always a lot of fun when we do this, and I appreciate you and Aaron Beth working with us this year again on this, and good luck to both of you guys, and hopefully
definitely one of the highlights of Hoopfest is me and you getting to have a little fun. And
well, highlight for me and you maybe. I don't know if it's for anybody else.
Don't get to see as much anymore.
I know. Maybe we'll run into each other a couple more times here down the road. Pendleton County wins over the Marshals this evening. Thanks for watching, and we will be back with you here in just a few moments as Tennessee Prep will take on Aspire Academy in the final game of the Saturday night session of Hoopfest. This is the CFSB Marshall County Hoopfest with the grind session on Tanager Sports.